Okay, so it's Sunday fun day. Old lady's cutting the grass. Ace is following her on his tractor. And I picked up a pretty good sized rooftop AC unit. I loaded it upside down. Wasn't even paying attention. But got a small little house unit here. And today my main reason for going out was my big international truck had a piece of rebar in the tire, so I had to go change the tire, etc., etc. And the HVAC company that gives us some small tin most of the time ended up letting us have this whole big unit. It's got one ACR here that's probably about 3 by 3, and then it's got this one here that wraps around to the other side, and it's two of them together. I don't know how good you can see it. I noticed I scratched up the lens on the GoPro too from being in the glove box, so I hope it's not ruined. But got one clean ACR here, got some number 2, number 1 copper, dirty brass, and then transformers over there. But the main point for this video was someone had asked me last time what item was considered Inconel, and it's a heating element. I've already taken the bolts loose on this. It's not like it just sits in there. But this is Inconel. If I can get it out. This is Inconel. It's a high nickel content, and it's just a continuous loop of heating element. So this was an air conditioner as well as a heating element. I don't know how big of a room this would heat or how hot they get or anything like that, but this is what Inconel is, and you just cut them off of their the connectors there, and then just unwind it. And this one probably weighs about 2 pounds, and it's $1 a pound. So just wanted to clarify that for whoever asked. I can't remember, but that's that. And I got a couple little squirrel cages with electric motors in them. Take those loose. But other than that, this week coming up ought to be pretty good, so I'll start making some videos. Got those 2 ACRs out of there. Got them on a scale. And they weigh just shy of 50 pounds. 49 pounds and 10 ounces. Plus there's still the third one in there. That ought to probably be 20 or 25 by itself, but we'll get that out now and see what it weighs. Somewhere right about there. Okay, update on the 3 by 3 ACR that came out of it. 24 pounds, 14 ounces, might as well call it 25. So that's the best part of 75 pounds in ACRs. That's a little over $75 in those alone, plus the compressor, the copper, the cut off ends here. I'll take all this big copper off, of course, but the noodles will stay on. Sometimes if you cut these close enough, these will fall out, but not today. I don't really mind if they stay in there either way. But got 2 compressor or sealed units here, and whatever else, electric motors, etc. Oh, there's some nice thick wire in there. Not that you can really see that too good, but probably a good pound or so of that. And there's another pound so also that came out of it. So this unit ought to be over $100 by itself, hopefully, but we'll find out tomorrow. So these motors in these squirrel cages are pretty hard to get out. These are just 2 that were in the unit. But first thing you have to do, for anyone that doesn't know, is these arms are attached to the frame of it. So you unbolt those, and then the easiest way, if you have the tools, stand it up on its side like this, and then you take like a digging bar, like that long bar right there. You take that and you just knock out a section of the fins, which exposes the shaft that is attached to the outer housing of the squirrel cage itself. And then you take your oxygen acetylene torch, if you have one, and just torch that shaft right off, and the motor will come out, instead of trying to loosen this little safety nut and hope that this slides off. But it's been seized on there for 20 years, so it's probably not going to. And you just really You don't have to fool with them at all. You can just, as long as you have an access spot to get in there to that shaft, you'll be able to snip it pretty good. Let's see if I can do it while holding the camera. Hold on. Safety first. Fancy. Always keep it classy. Hold on, buddy. In there. Nice and warm. That's one down. Some of them are hard to get to. I'm gonna pull that piece out. See if I can get this one. Alright, so you got the point there. Look, that one fell out by itself. I'm going to do some adjusting and get this third one out. But that's only if you have an oxyacetylene torch. That obviously makes it easier. Otherwise, you really fight it, and most of the time it's not worth it, so you just end up throwing the whole thing in the steel pile. So, or since you guys are listening, of course, no one's just skipping through these videos, the big tank is oxygen. And sometimes you can, well, not sometimes, but most of the time you can put propane instead of the acetylene tank. The tall one's oxygen, the short one's acetylene. You can use propane instead of acetylene because it's cheaper. And you'll see it at junkyards a lot because the cut is a lot crappier because you're just cutting junk, it doesn't matter. But that's just two ways you can do it. The acetylene is a hotter fire and a better cut, but the propane is cheaper and just as effective as far as cutting wise. But we're gonna get the rest of this broke down anyway. Enough chatting. And Ace, what are you doing? Nice. Anyway, we're getting this broke down so we can take it tomorrow. Alright, all the tins loaded up. The other little house unit was broke down. That didn't have an ACR in it. That had what's called a it's just an aluminum radiator, or clean aluminum radiators, what the scrapyard calls it. They're in a couple other of my videos, but there's no copper in that. They're aluminum pipe with aluminum fins on the outside versus copper pipe and aluminum fins like these. But anyway, I had a little bit of dirty aluminum I threw in the truck. Number 1 copper, number 2 copper, electric motors, the ACRs, a couple other miscellaneous things, bucket of wire. I'm gonna run it down in the morning on the way to a job that I have to replace a leaking heat and oil tank. So I got my drum and my pump right there to take out all the old fuel so I can take the old tank, and then I'll take the old tank to a guy that builds grills out of them, barbecues. He gives me $25 a piece, so that's more than scrap, and I can take it right to him and drop it off. So see you in the morning. Alright, so we're starting Monday off pretty good with a $242 payday. Here's all the weigh and pays. Hopefully you can read them. I guess that I had 2 pounds of Inconel. That's down there, the last one, but it was actually 3. And a couple of the big ones was 93 pounds of clean AC coils for 102. Number 1 copper was $31.50, and number 2 copper was $32.25. Almost the same. So that's pretty good for a Monday morning. I'm gonna go empty this oil tank and get that job started, and we'll catch you later.